Hi guys. I just want to do a little check-in, and I wanted to show you, since today's February 1st when I'm filming this. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, hopefully within the next couple of days, but I decided to track all the things I made in January, and I did not do the number count yet. I think it's like 31 or 32 items, which is pretty good. I started off the month making halter tops, my first attempt, to see, to get a little head start for the summer months, because I would like to try to have some available in my shop and make them size inclusive and whatnot, which involved me experimenting. But I started off making 2 of them, and I made this in the jewel tone or jewel color from Lily Sugar and Cream. This is just a triangle granny square, and I made it as big for it fits me. So it's like an XL 2X size. And then I did the bottom border in double crochets. And I did the straps. I chained 200 on each side. And then I single crocheted back down. A lot of people slip stitch. I don't really like that, so I did the single crochet. I may end up going the other way, depending on how. I plan to try it out and see what it looks like. Because if it looks better, then I'll do it, Especially if I want to sell the items. But this turned out really good. And this is, like I said, a XL 2X size. And then I was thinking about a watermelon theme. So I went ahead and made this one. I planned to, somewhere on this cup section, put some sprinkles of black in there. But it didn't look right. So I was thinking about getting those cups to maybe go on the inside and like line the inside of it black, so the black peeks through. Because if you notice, the downside about doing the granny square stitch on the cup part is there's a lot of holes. So this isn't really something you could wear by itself, I don't think. At least I wouldn't feel comfortable. So I would think of this as being more like you wear this and wear like a see-through top over it to kind of showcase it. But, that's just my own personal preference. But this one, I did the granny stitch on the bottom as well. And I will say, I like the way the other one looked, but this one fits a little better. Like, it's not as, I guess the word is constricting at the bottom, to where it goes around underneath the rib cage. But I did the same thing on this one. I chained the 200 on each strap, and then I went ahead and single crocheted back up. And then I just fed the straps through open gaps wherever it looked good. But yeah, those are the 2 tops I made. Now, we're going to move on to my granny square scarf. This is also another first attempt, which I do plan to sell in my shop, but I am going to sell pretty cheap, because this one, I think it looks adorable, but I do know that there are areas of mistakes. And this is all from one skein of yarn. So I use the same yarn for the entire thing, which is pretty cool. And this is the front side of it. And then we've got the back side, which actually looks fairly good as well. But I see, there's a couple areas, like right in here, where you can kind of see a couple of mistakes. I guess it depends what you clarify as mistakes. But I still plan to sell it, because my goal is basically to sell everything that I make. Even if there are mistakes, I will just list them. I'm trying to come up with a fun little name to list, since this one is a first time make, maybe call it like a first draft pricing or something, because those ones will definitely not be as good as the later ones. But they look cute and they have character. And this one I do really like. I'm not really a big scarf person, but I realized this year that I didn't make a single scarf. So I made this one, which I don't know if I plan to make many more, but I used to make a ton of scarves when I first learned how to knit. It was before I was good at crochet, because all I could knit were scarves, which right now I'm attempting to make my first beanie and doing that knit purl pattern, which is actually fairly easy, the pattern itself. But my problem is when I set the item down and pick it back up, I don't remember where I left off. And then I throw off the pattern. So I got to get that under control. But that's the scarf. And then I made a bunch of beanies. There's this girl that I found on TikTok named, I think it's pronounced chibbey crochet. It's CHIBBEY crochet. Look her up. She's very cool, and she has a lot of talent, and she has a lot of patterns that are really neat. This is one that I don't think she has a written pattern for, but I was watching one of her TikTok lives, and she was walking people through how to do it, and she gave us permission to use it, which was really cool of her. And I don't even think she even asked us to give her credit, which she definitely deserves the credit, because these are super cute. And I have these available on my Etsy shop, giving, with her in the description. But you start off with your little double crochets there, and then you go into the granny stitch, and then you end in the front post, back post stitch for the last couple of rounds. And I did adjust my pattern because she uses a smaller hook, because I used a hook size of 6, and I think she said her hook size was like a 5.5, but I didn't have one available when I was like doing it, so I just went with the 6, and I actually like how it turned out. So I made a white one, a gray one, a blue and white speckle, and then I will not say, but this made me think of a sport team. They might be on their way to a Super Bowl or something right now. I made that hat. And then this one is a little shorter version because my niece has a smaller head and she requested me to make a hat. So this was like an Alot color, or espresso, I guess that would be. This is the ruby red color. And then this one is a cream color. And I think I made a total of like 10 of those this month. But the ones that are available in my shop are the sport theme one, which I also have one that is blue, yellow, and white with the same kind of pattern. If you're in the St. Louis area, these are Missouri teams. Then I have, I believe, 8 colors available of these. So I have gray, they're white. I also have black, pink, a purple, a blue, a pink, I think. There's a total of like 8 colors available on my Etsy shop as well, which will be in the detail section below. But I made like 10 of those hats. And then I tried something new, and I saw this thing called a knot bag. I think it's originated from like the Asian side. I don't remember if it was Japanese or Chinese where I saw it like styled over there. But I love the granny stitch. So I went with the granny stitch on it. And it's basically one of those bags where one handle is going to be shorter than the other one. And then you tuck in the handle and it looks like that. So then you carry it around and just carry it around like that. Which is why it's not too long. I made it a little wider. I'm debating whether or not to line these or not because I don't have a sewing machine, so it would all be by hand. And if I lined it, I would have to charge more for it because I honestly think for me to line this would be more work and effort than the whole time of crocheting it. So I'd have to add that into the price because I'm not a big fan of the whole sewing thing. I don't like to sew. I don't even like to sew when it comes to the crochet items. I forgot ways to crochet things together versus sewing them together. But I made a purple one. And then I also made one in the chocolate ombre color. So I figured a neutral one and then a colorful one. And they turned out really cute. I really like them. And I think I want to make more, but I think I might want to go smaller. At least maybe smaller on the straps, so that way it's a little shorter. But those are those. So I made those. Oh, I made a cat beanie. I'm not real good at making these, so I just went ahead and tried again. This one, I think I figured out a good length and pattern to make it, although it seems a little wide to me. But I'll be posting most, if not all of these items on my Etsy shop soon. I'm hoping to get them posted by the time I post this video, which today is the 1st, so I'm off Monday. So I'm hoping to have these done by the weekend So on Monday, I'll have everything posted, and I'll also have the video up. So hopefully it'll be up at the same time. But there's this little, which I'm also debating if I want to add a tag to this one, because I kind of like the idea of when the beanies or hats are close to your head, of not putting the tag on, because I would think the tag might snag your hair. I guess if you guys have any preferences, comment below and let me know. Because obviously, I'm a little new at like tagging things, like to sell them. I usually give a lot of my stuff away or sell them, you know, to people in person, to where there's not a whole lot of need for tags. But if there's going to be more people wearing my stuff, I would like to them to know where to get it from, because I would like to make this an actual business, not just a hobby. So we're working towards it. And then, you know what? We're going to show one more hat, because I think this is the last hat I made. So the last hat I made for the month of January were these bucket hats. Oh my God, I don't remember the name of the lady where I got the pattern from. I'll have to see if, I'll have to look it up, and hopefully I can post it below. If not, it's the same pattern that Passioknit Kelsie uses, but she uses it from a lady. Like, she always comments her, and I can't remember her name. I'll have to do that at the bottom. If nothing else, look at Passioknit Kelsie's bucket hats, and at the bottom of every one of her videos that she has that lady in, or she's doing those hats, she posts that lady's name and tag. But I did the same way, and I watched Passioknit Kelsie's videos, and there's a couple alterations that she made, and I basically followed her alterations. But I did an autumn leaf one, and these are super cute. Which, you know what? Let me get my little mannequin head, so that way I can show you what it looks like. And this is actually this is going to be my first longer YouTube video. I don't plan to edit any of this out, so this is just going to be what it is. I'm not real good at the whole editing scene of things, so I don't plan to do any of that. But this is what it looks like. It's super cute. This one is the autumn leaf one. Then we have the chocolate ombre again. And these ones, I did put the tags on because they're not close to your head. And so, like, they're right there. And super cute. Put it back. There we go. But I love the way these turned out. And I actually made 5 of them. So I've got the autumn leaf chocolate color. And this is the purple haze, I believe. And all of my cotton yarns, 99% of them are going to be Lily Sugar and Cream, because I like that brand. So any of my bucket hats or my tops that I end up making will most likely be made from that. And this, I think, is my favorite color wave, which is the jewel one. And then I saw this one and I thought it screamed summer. And I think it's so stinking cute. And yeah, that is so cute, right? And it's called Key Lime. And it's adorable. I wanted to make a bucket hat that had like frog ears on it with this yarn. But I don't know if it's because the yarn is too heavy or because I'm doing the granny stitch. But it was not working. I tried over and over to get the, because it was eyeballs that I was sticking on top. I was trying to get the eyeballs to stick and stay up, and I couldn't get them for the life of me. So I gave up. But, so I made 5 of those. And then we go into the territory of more new things that I tried. And the first one being, there's face scrubbies that are really popular. I don't like crocheting in the smaller needle sizes because it hurts my hands. So instead of crocheting smaller, I kept to my normal. The smallest I like to go on my cotton yarns is 5. And a lot of those prefer like 4s and 4.5s because it has the stitches a little closer together. So I stuck to the 5, but I did it double-sided. So I did made it up like you normally would. And then I made up another side, and then I stitched them together. So they're thicker. Which I think these are adorable, which, you know, normally they market these as like face scrubbies, but I kind of want to do face and body scrubbies because I feel like these are thick enough to where you could totally use these in the shower. And then I'm debating whether or not to sell them in sets of 2 or sets of 3. But I also want to make up one of those cute little mesh little bags to put them in. So if I do them in sets of 2, they'll probably come with like a little bag. And then that way you can stick them in there when you go to wash them, and they're contained and they're not going everywhere. But I made a total of 6 of these colors, and I made 4 more, but none of those colors matched up because they were just scrap yarn. So I did one in the purple haze, one in the autumn leaf, and then 1.5 in the earth ombre that I have. But those were a different style. I didn't like that one because it was the ones where it's like continuous, where you start out and you keep going, and then you don't stop. You just start decreasing rows back, and then you stitch it all back here to where it's one continuous thing. And it looks pretty cool. Let me see if I can grab it. It looks cool, but I didn't like the finish, like the little knot at the end, because I didn't like this part, because I was like, well, I would like to find a way to cover that. But it looks like this, and then it goes over, and then it ends here, and then you close it all up there. But I didn't like, maybe if I have like a handle or something. I think this would be super cute for like a kitchen scrubby, which I did buy a bunch of the scrub off yarn to make some of the kitchen scrubbies, because those would be super, super cute. Plus, if like I start doing markets like I want, having a bunch of these available in like a basket would be cute little cheap things that people could get if they wanted to. But I got a group of those. And then I also made book sleeves. So I made a bunch of tarot card sleeve things. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, I could totally just make it bigger and turn it into a book sleeve. So I did this one in the ruby red because it was February, you know, or going into February. And I plan to post this up. And they stretch pretty good. And then you just wrap this around and you tuck that in. And then I also made it in the, I think of it as like the Sally theme from Nightmare Before Christmas. The color wave of it. It looks really cool. I really like it. Kind of like an 80s style Sally theme, but this one is the same way. And, excuse me, I just did, how many rounds did I did on this one? 1, 2, 3. So, using my size 6 hook, did I use size 6 or size 5? Don't remember what size I used. I think I used 6 because normally I do. But this is the all-in-one granny square yarn. And I did 12 rounds. And then at the end of the 12 rounds, I went ahead and, like I said, I don't like to sew. So to crochet my sides together, I basically folded corner to corner. I started out over here, so my string was over here, and I tucked it all in. But I crocheted up, got to this corner, put this together, crocheted that back around, and then had my tail over here that I had to weave in. So I had to weave in both these tails. But I just single crocheted it all up. So it does leave a little ridge, but I like the way that looks. I know some people don't, but I think it looks cool. And then on the other side, since it's a Sally theme, I don't mind that it is showing through, because it will show through when you do it that way. But I think the stitch look looks pretty cool, especially because I think of the Sally. So I think it goes. I think it looks very, very cute. And these will also be available in my shop. I plan to actually make more of them because I've just had so much fun making these. And they were good, I mean, they took a little bit of time, but they were good workup. Like, I didn't have a lot of thought process to it, and I didn't have to do a lot of fixing or a lot of start and finish. So these both turned out really good. Now, the two things that I think my two favorite things that I made, which I think my book sleeves and my knot bags will be the third and fourth thing that I really loved making this month. But I'm going to come up, they're kind of tied for the, I'm trying to finish up with the one I like the most. I think we'll go with the smaller one of the two. So I tried a new pattern, and it's for a little strawberry pouch. Now I think I want to make it bigger to make it like a purse, because it was just set up as a pouch where you put a thing through and you tie it off. And if you're somebody who's into cosplay or does any of that D&D stuff, these would be good little dice bag holders. But with these strings, you could easily tie it on to a belt if you're like into the cosplay stuff. But I thought it turned out really cute because this top here had this ridge like its leaves, but it's pretty big. Like once you open it, it's very big. It's very spacious, which I loved. And this is another one where I thought about lining it because of putting little seeds on the outside of it, but it would be a little bit of work. So I'm debating whether or not to line this one. So I guess comment below if you're a fan of the lining in bags, or with you, it doesn't matter, or it depends, or if you're willing to pay more for the lining, because the lining is a lot more work to me than what the crochet is. But this one did take, for as small as this took me about 2-3 hours. Yeah, about 2.5 hours to make, because it required a lot of concentration, and maybe it would get better after I do more of them, but I had to do a lot of increases, and then I had to do like pay attention to what row I was on and stuff. So it was a lot of, and then at the end here, this part worked up pretty quick. This was pretty easy to do. But and then I just did a chain, and it did set to a chain of 70. I might recommend, if you guys do it, or if I make it again, I might do a chain of 80 or 100, because I feel like this chain might be a little too short, but maybe it's just me. But then you just tighten it up, and you can tie it all up, and it is super, super cute. And I also want to put this on my shop, but I need to decide if I want to do a liner or not on it. Now, my biggest thing that I made this month, which probably took me about, how long? It was about a week's worth of crocheting, but hour-wise, it probably took me about 15 to 20. So basically, I just made a really big granny square, and then fold it in half, and then crocheted up the side to give myself a spot to put a sleeve, and then I made a cuff, and I made a cuff doing the front post back post, because I don't, the ribbing that a lot of people do where they do the crochet in the back loop only, I find that so annoying and so tedious that I just don't want to do it. And then whenever I was making those hats that the chibbey crochet showed, and she was doing the front post back post, it dawned on me that I could do that for the cuffs as well. So that's what I did. So this is the armhole, and you do this on both sides, and then on the bottom you're going to go through and do that again on the bottom. And then see how that's all folded in half? And then it turns itself into one of those cocoon cardigans, which is very, very cute. You put your armhole through here. You got your neck and the body. And I've got pictures on my website and stuff. I don't really want to try this on too many times. I did it once wearing a long sleeve shirt. Since I plan to sell this, I didn't want to have a lot of skin-to-skin contact with it. Especially because I was thinking, I know some people will wash the item before they send them out, but I don't want to do that because my family, my nieces, have a lot of skin allergies and whatnot. And I have a house with cats, so I already tried to do my best to make it to where my stuff stays fur-free as much as possible. I don't want to add to their skin allergies if other people happen to try to get this and they're skin sensitive. So I didn't want to wash anything and use wrong detergent or something. Because we use that scent-free and sensitive skin detergent, but I don't know everybody's allergies and I didn't want to assume anything. But anyway, so this is super, super cute. Let me back up so you can see it a little better. Yeah. But see how cute that is? Now this, I will say, this fits me. I tried it on, and I would say that this fits up to like a 2X. But if you want to be more drapey and oversized, I would start at a medium. This was with 35 rows using a hook 5. So I plan to do another one going to 40 rows to make it bigger, because personally I would like to wear something like this oversized, and the 35 rows wasn't enough to be oversized for me. But this was one of those ones too. Like I'm making a granny square blanket for a friend, and it's for a baby, and I wasn't sure how big I wanted to make it. So I was like, well, I kind of want to test it out and just see. So I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead. And my goal was actually just to make a blanket. And then I saw this and I was like, huh, this would be a very cute pattern to do and make as one of those little cocoon cardigans that I saw. So let me turn this around so you see the back of it. So, and then when you have it on, it looks like that. And it's so super cute. But this would be my biggest make of the month. And this will be on my shop as well. And out of all my items, this will be the most expensive one, because I am a firm believer on getting paid what you feel you're worth. And I understand not everybody can buy everything, and that's totally fine. I don't think you should be expected to, but I also think that you should respect each shop's pricing, because like single moms, for instance, it may take them a full week to make something that it takes somebody else a day to make, because they have children and they have to put a lot more effort and time into setting out that time for them to make it. So if they feel that their work is worth $200 and then somebody else gets it done a lot quicker and they feel it's worth $50, just respect those shops, pricing, and either buy it or don't. That is totally fine. And I feel the same way about mine. So if you don't want to, that's okay. That's not something I think is obviously required. I just, there's some items you make, and if you're a maker, I'm sure you understand this. There's just some items you make that took a lot of your time, and you love it so much that you can't just give it away. You want to get paid what it was worth for you. And it's kind of like art, in my opinion. And that's why there's what they call fiber artists out there. And I think anybody who crochets, knits, sews, because sewing is also an art form in itself as well, which that stuff to me is just so tedious that those people who do those kinds of things, it obviously takes a lot of skill and time and effort, and they should definitely be compensated for what they feel they're worth. And I think that everybody should know their worth. And if there's somebody who they do it more as a hobby and they don't need the money and they don't want the money, that's something. Maybe they just want the money for the cost of the items to make because they enjoy it so much. But also there are those out there that do this as a business, which I'm hoping to be one of them. And if I want to treat it as a business, I can't undersell myself. I have to make sure I'm charging for the cost of shipping and the cost of the items, but also my time that I put into them. And so I hope you guys enjoy this little video, which turned out to be a little longer than I thought, which we're about to end up on 30 minutes, it looks like here. And like I said, I'm not editing out any of this. So how this goes is how it goes. And if you guys watched all the way through this, please comment with a purple heart to let me know. And, that way I know if you guys actually watched the whole thing or not. And if you like this video, I will do another one for February. If you don't, if I don't get, maybe I'll just go ahead and just do another one just for a couple months. Because I like the idea of having a video snapshot of what I made. So I might just keep doing this for myself. But I might make little smaller clips to share, because this may be too much, too tedious. Maybe it didn't entertain you. Which, if it didn't, that's totally fine. Like I said, I just did it for myself. But I hope you guys also enjoyed it as well. Comment below if you have anything you would like to see me make. Because I'm definitely up for trying new things. Yeah, thank you. You guys have a wonderful weekend and hopefully a great February. Thank you. Bye.